This video is sponsored by our friends at Kamikoto. Kamikoto taps into more than 800 years of traditional techniques from Japan to craft incredibly sharp, single bevel knives. These beautiful knives are made from the finest Japanese steel, and they've elevated my cooking game significantly. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty ashwood box. They also make for an incredible gift. Each Kamikoto knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process that takes several years from start to finish to complete. Each knife is individually inspected, and Kamikoto is so confident about their knives that each one comes with a lifetime guarantee. These knives are incredible, and you don't have to take my word for it. They have been used by Michelin star chefs all over the world, and if you don't love them, you will get a full refund. Right now, Kamikoto is having their biggest sale of the year. Go to kamikoto.com/Chael. That's going to save $50 off your entire purchase price, or just click the link below. Use the promo code Chael and you will save $50 today. Colby Covington did an interview, and I was over at ESPN. I was asked to watch the interview and then respond to it. And guys, a lot of the sound bites, it was fantastic. I mean, Colby said we're fighting for the pound-for-pound GOAT status. Now, we've acknowledged the belt's up for grabs, but Kamaru Usman is ranked number 1 pound for pound. Wouldn't they be fighting for that as well? I think that that's fair. And even though that may not be how it works, do you see where that motivation could really come in for Colby? John Anik has Colby Covington as the 4th greatest welterweight of all time. Many people see Colby as one of the greats of all time. Colby was the interim champion who never lost the championship. I mean, all fairness, I think these guys are fighting for the pound for pound great. Colby talked about his jaw in the last fight. And Colby said, any x-rays you've seen that my jaw was broken were photoshopped. Now, I know that he's having fun, but I've never got total clarity. I'm not even satisfied with that remark that he makes right there. If that was being cute or if that was being sincere. I don't know how anybody would have ever got a hold of Colby's x-ray in the first place. But that jaw is very relevant. I maintain to this day, that fight was so close, so hard, and so dirty. Dana would have made that rematch at the press conference that night, but he didn't do it because there was a rumor going around about Colby's jaw being broken. Now, whether that was true or that wasn't true, that rumor existed. And now Colby's talking just a little bit about it. I thought that that was interesting. Whether he broke it or not, I thought that that was an interesting take. And I can promise you guys one thing. No, I can't. I can't promise you a damn thing, can I? but I can give you one prediction. How do you like that? Can we word it like that? Okay. In that first fight, a very big surprise. And don't forget, going into that first fight, you had a real dialogue created and supported by both athletes that Kamaru Usman, being a Division II champion, was better at wrestling than Colby Covington, who was the Division I All-American. I was curious. I liked the argument. I liked both their resumes. Seen them both wrestle plenty. I bought into this. So it was to everybody's chagrin and even surprise when there was no wrestling in this contest. And I'm talking about their first fight. I don't mean that they failed. I don't mean that they crossed each other out with defense. There was no wrestling attempts. There was no over-unders. There was no body locks. There was no trips. There was no change elevation. Attack the legs. There was absolutely no wrestling done. Both of these guys, contrary to what they told us, oh, better than him, he sucks. No, they didn't mean it. They respected the other one so much that this turned into a dirty kickboxing street fight. It was the nastiest fight I have ever seen. Are you ready for that? I do not say this with exaggeration. And the only thing that I'm very confident will change from an X's and O's standpoint is one of them is going to test the waters of wrestling. And whether they strike out or not, they are going to test it. And it's very dangerous, whichever one does it, should they not succeed. Is the squeeze worth the juice? There is nothing you can do inside that cage that is more tiresome than getting a takedown. And it's very well worth it if you can stay on top for a couple of beats, get that deep breath, get a few deep breaths. If you go for that, you create a scramble, and now you're stuck on your feet, which is where you just tried to avoid being anyway, only now you're more tired. It's not a good trade. It's not a good deal. But I do predict for you that both of them realize how hard that fight was and that there's another way. There's a way to secure a moment. There's a way to secure a round. And whichever one of them gets the takedown is going to win at least that round. One of them, in theory, is 3 takedowns away from securing a world championship. I don't know how far we'll get. I don't know that we'll get 3 takedowns. I can all but assure you we will see one attempt from each guy. I really do believe that. And Colby is in a new training situation. He left the top team. He's now got the coaches, same coaches, but just on him. 2-3 workout partners just on him. Full focus on him. And his performances have looked incredible. The same obviously goes to Usman. Usman left Florida, went out to Colorado, training under Coach Whitman, practicing with Justin Gaethje, just one name to drop on you there. But we've also seen Usman's game changing. Usman's always been a problem on his feet, but he won his last fight by knockout on his feet. He not only knocked George Masvidal out, he turned him sideways. I've never seen that in my whole life. He hit him once, he turned him sideways. Like it was a stuntman in a movie. I mean, right, not for nothing, Usman's got some power. He put some of that power on Burns too, and that is a meaningful difference since he's been spending time in Colorado with Coach Whitman, and a change from their first fight. We have a very different fight on our hands here. And it's not obvious who that favors. They're both doing something different. You do something different, you can expect a different result. We have a very different match. It's still going to be dirty. It's still going to be hard. It's still going to be close, but it's going to be different.